Now, warm welcome back. Our guests today are Petla and Mmatlali Motloung from Amedzo Trading and Projects. Before the break, we were discussing how they saw this opportunity around petroleum. We tried to understand exactly how the opportunity would work. And what we understand is that we also haven't had any transactions as yet. Kumara, do you want to come in?
Yes. Elon asked you what the opportunity is in petroleum, right? And you said it was wholesale to private fleet owners predominantly. But my question to you is why? Why go into petroleum, fuel or oil or whatever, and why this specific thing? What's driving that?
There are a lot of opportunities in the energy industry, particularly for women. And this is the market that is not saturated. You know, when we said we're basically starting with wholesale, it's because it's a cash upfront business. You don't necessarily need a huge capital outlay. And the reason why we want to start there is so that we can then expand into the whole value chain. You know, but currently for us to start going, we just need to get access to the market, and then we can start transacting, and then would then expand with time.
You came with the idea to her, right?
Yes, I came
So
to
what is...
I think
What's
for
your
me,
why?
apart from the fact that I was attracted by the amount of money that you can make, it was a long-term strategy also into the business, having something that will be able to sustain you as an entrepreneur. So we did, as I said earlier on an insight, we did extensive research as to how far the petroleum business come from and where is it going in the country, and also within the SADC region as well, bearing in mind that this is not an industry where you can limit your product to the local market. You can also export petroleum products to the SADC region, particularly Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. So we looked into the long-term sustainability of our businesses.
One more question for now. Since it's not saturated, that's what you said, and all this money, why are you struggling to get market access? Why the problem, in your mind?
I think the challenge is that we have been we have marketed the business not as aggressively as we had wanted to, because we started like 4 months ago. But we have received a lot of queries like, okay, can you quote us on X number of liters for this particular product, and later realize you just keep on chasing and chasing and the deal does not come through because there are other competitors also within the industry. There are other wholesale license holders that have been there for long. So what we then decided to do was, okay, let's seek mentorship. Let us work with other established license holders who have been in the industry for long, so that they can be able to alert us if an order is legit or not. That has helped us, because what we're finding now is that, okay, the orders that we are working with or the quotations that we are doing, somehow they look like they are more legit or they are reasonable in comparison to getting a quotation or, you know, a request for 100 million, you know, liters, which is almost unheard of. You know, it's an impossible order to do.
And I think just to also add on what Mmatlali has already said, is that when we started, the opportunity that we identified was in the SADC region, and we did not necessarily focus locally. And one of the things that we're going back to do, or we have started doing now, is we want to leverage on the Amedzo brand, the existing clientele already. We've already started engaging them in as far as this diversification into the business is concerned.
Melissa?
So a good note to enter my question. Are you rebranding the business? Is it 2 different entities? How are you incorporating this? Because that's going to talk to your marketing strategy as well. So I want to understand what your approach has been to that.
Like we said, that one of the things is that we'd like to seek advice on how we should go about it, but we were thinking of operating it as a subsidiary of Amedzo, so that we can leverage on the Amedzo brand, because Amedzo has been there for over 6 years now. So what we want to do is now see if it can work as a child company, supported by the parent, obviously, which is Amedzo.
Okay.
And I think after this discussion, that would be able to inform us on what to do moving forward.
Okay. No, I just wanted to ask that question so that I have a sense of a branding strategy that they're going to need.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a little confused still, so I'm just going to come back in here. So, you know, the petroleum industry, as you said, there's an opportunity for women-owned in the industry. However, that doesn't make it an easy industry. There are a lot of incumbent people who understand the nuances of this industry. I know that within Race Corp there's been somebody who's been sitting in an office trading petroleum from crude to wholesale for the last 10 years. And they need a big balance sheet to do that. They need and he's got a big backer behind him that's basically guaranteeing the shipments. Do you have that?
Like Mmatlali alluded to earlier on, we're already working now with a license holder. You know, we've formed strategic alliances or partnership with people who have been in the industry long so that they can then support the business.
So then you take a margin on that?
We take a margin, so we're working on a commission base, if you like.
For now. Because as part of our strategy growth is that we will allow ourselves to grow steadily, not find ourselves, you know, wanting to grow, making 10 million in the year one. That is impossible to do so. So what we've done is that we said, okay, fine, in the first 3 years of the business, for example, we would want to work on a commission basis where we take X amount in the profit margin. Following that, in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll then perhaps start looking at opportunities where we'll have our own assets, for example, buying a truck where we can start loading the fuel and sending it off to our customers. So that puts the pressure off us for now, because then we don't necessarily have to worry too much about transportation, because we have the partner that we are working with right now. They take care of all of those for us and teaching us in the process of how the business grow and what are some of the risks that we need to be able to look out for in this particular industry. And one of our strategies as well that we have embarked on is aligning ourselves with organizations such as WUSA, which is Women in Energy Business, which in South Africa, Women in Energy. Women in Energy, yeah. Women in Energy in South Africa. So that helps, because there you get experienced women in particular that focus at everyday live, breathe, and sleep energy business. So they identify the opportunities and they call all the youngsters like us who are still new in the business, and they help us to identify any other opportunities that are in this particular industry, and also somehow become like a mother to you as a child as you are growing. So those are some of the things that we are doing or aligning ourselves with to ensure that we are able to sustain ourselves in this particular industry.
Great. It's a good time to take a break. We'll be right back with summaries. That frog needs to go. We'll be right back after this. Do stay tuned.